In a small village nestled amidst the sprawling savannas of Africa, where the golden grasses swayed gently in the warm breeze and the baobab trees stood tall and proud, there lived a young woman named Amina. The village was called Ndlovu, known for its vibrant community and rich cultural heritage. It was a place where stories of ancestors were passed down through generations and the rhythms of drums resonated through the nights. Amina was unlike any other in the village. From a young age, she had a presence that commanded attention. Her skin glowed like polished ebony, and her eyes sparkled with a depth that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe. Her hair, thick and coiled, framed her face like a crown, and her smile could light up the darkest of days. As she grew older, her beauty only intensified, and with it came a magnetism that was impossible to ignore. The men of Ndlovu were captivated by Amina. Wherever she went, they followed, their gazes lingering on her graceful movements and enchanting laughter. Even the elders, who were usually composed and wise, found themselves drawn to her in ways they couldn't explain. Amina, with her kindness and humility, accepted the attention graciously, never letting it inflate her sense of self-worth. But her beauty and charm were not without consequences. The women of the village, who once considered her a sister and friend, began to view her with suspicion and jealousy. Whispers of discontent spread like wildfire, and soon Amina became the center of a growing storm. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Amina sat by the riverbank, lost in thought. The cool water lapped gently at her feet, offering a momentary escape from the tension that had been building around her. She wondered why her beauty, something she had no control over, had become such a burden. Her solitude was interrupted by the arrival of Kofi, a young warrior known for his bravery and skill in hunting. He approached her cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest. Kofi had long harbored feelings for Amina, but he had never found the courage to express them. "Amina," he called softly, his voice trembling slightly. She turned to face him, her expression unreadable. "May I join you?" She nodded, gesturing for him to sit beside her. They sat in silence for a moment, the only sound being the gentle flow of the river and the distant calls of nocturnal animals beginning to stir. "Amina," Kofi began again, "I've wanted to speak to you for some time now. There's something I need to tell you." She looked at him, her eyes filled with curiosity. "What is it, Kofi?" He took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. "You are the most remarkable woman I have ever known. Your beauty is undeniable, but it's your spirit, your kindness, and your strength that truly captivate me. I love you, Amina." Her heart skipped a beat at his confession. She had always admired Kofi for his courage and integrity, but she had never expected him to have such deep feelings for her. "Kofi," she said softly, "I don't know what to say. Your words mean so much to me." Before she could continue, a rustling in the bushes behind them caught their attention. They turned to see a group of women from the village emerging, their faces set in grim determination. At their forefront was Nia, a woman known for her fiery temper and sharp tongue. "Amina," Nia called out, her voice dripping with accusation, "we've had enough of your games. You think you can charm all the men in this village and get away with it? We won't stand for it any longer." Amina stood up, her eyes wide with shock. "Nia, what are you talking about? I haven't done anything wrong." Nia stepped forward, her eyes blazing with anger. "You haven't done anything wrong. Look around you, Amina. Everywhere you go, men flock to you like moths to a flame. You've turned our lives upside down with your beauty. It's time you face the consequences." Kofi stood protectively beside Amina, his hand resting on the hilt of his spear. "This is madness, Nia. Amina has done nothing to deserve this treatment. You cannot blame her for the way others feel about her." Nia scoffed, her expression hardening. "Stay out of this, Kofi. This is between us women. Amina, you need to leave this village. You are a threat to all of us." Amina felt a pang of pain in her chest. The village she had called home, the people she had considered family, were turning against her. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she blinked them away, refusing to show weakness. "If my presence causes so much strife, then I will leave," she said quietly. "But know this, I have always wanted nothing but the best for this village. I have never sought to harm anyone." With those words, Amina turned and walked away, her heart heavy with sorrow. Kofi watched her go, a sense of helplessness washing over him. He wanted to follow her, to protect her, but he knew that doing so would only escalate the situation. As Amina disappeared into the darkness, the women of the village stood in silence, their anger slowly dissipating. They had achieved their goal, but at what cost? Nia, feeling a twinge of regret, turned to the others. "We've done what we had to do," she said firmly. "Now, we must ensure the peace of our village." But peace would not come easily. The departure of Amina left a void in the hearts of many, and the village of Ndlovu would never be the same again. Amina walked for days, her feet sore and her spirit weighed down by the betrayal she felt. The lush landscapes of her homeland slowly gave way to arid plains and rocky hills. She was determined to find a place where she could live in peace, away from the jealousy and suspicion that had driven her from Ndlovu. One afternoon, she stumbled upon a secluded village nestled in a valley. The village was called Kusini, known for its hospitality and vibrant market. The people of Kusini were immediately taken by Amina's grace and beauty, but unlike in Ndlovu, they welcomed her with open arms. She was offered a place to stay by an elderly woman named Mama Tumelo, who had seen many travelers pass through Kusini. Mama Tumelo's home was small, but filled with warmth and love. She treated Amina like her own daughter, teaching her the ways of the village and sharing stories of the ancestors. Amina began to feel a sense of belonging that she had not felt in a long time. As days turned into weeks, Amina started to help Mama Tumelo with her daily tasks. She fetched water from the river, tended to the garden, and learned to weave baskets. Her presence brought a sense of joy to the household, and soon she became an integral part of the community. One day, while Amina was at the market selling her woven baskets, a group of men from Kusini approached her. Among them was a young man named Juma, who was known for his wisdom and gentle nature. Juma had heard of Amina's story and was intrigued by her resilience and strength. "Amina," Juma began, his voice calm and respectful, "we have heard much about you. Your beauty and kindness have touched many hearts here in Kusini. I would like to know more about you and perhaps, if you are willing, we could become friends." Amina smiled, her heart warming at his words. "Thank you, Juma. I would be honored to be your friend. There is much I could learn from you and the people of Kusini." Juma and Amina spent many hours together, sharing stories and learning from each other. Juma was fascinated by Amina's tales of Ndlovu and her journey to Kusini, while Amina was captivated by Juma's knowledge of the land and its history. They formed a bond that grew stronger with each passing day. However, as Amina began to settle into her new life, a shadow loomed on the horizon. News of her presence in Kusini reached Nia, who had been consumed by guilt and regret since Amina's departure. Nia, unable to bear the burden of her actions, decided to leave Ndlovu and find Amina to seek her forgiveness. Nia's journey was arduous, filled with obstacles and challenges. She traveled through dense forests and across treacherous rivers, driven by a desire to make amends. When she finally arrived in Kusini, she was exhausted and on the verge of collapse. Amina was at the river when she saw Nia approaching, her once fiery eyes now filled with sorrow. Amina's heart ached at the sight of her former friend in such a state. She rushed to Nia's side, helping her to sit by the water's edge. "Nia, what are you doing here?" Amina asked gently, offering her water. Nia took a sip, her hands trembling. "Amina, I have come to ask for your forgiveness. I was wrong to drive you away. My jealousy blinded me, and I hurt you deeply. Please forgive me." Amina looked into Nia's eyes, seeing the sincerity of her plea. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the past lift from her shoulders. "Nia, I forgive you. We were friends once, and I believe we can find that friendship again." Tears streamed down Nia's face as she embraced Amina, the burden of her guilt finally lifting. The two women sat by the river, sharing their stories and healing old wounds. Kusini, with its spirit of acceptance and community, became the backdrop for their renewed friendship. As time passed, Amina and Nia became inseparable, working together to help the people of Kusini and strengthen the bonds of the village. They learned that true beauty lay not in appearances, but in the strength of their hearts and the kindness of their actions. The village of Kusini flourished, becoming a beacon of hope and unity. Amina's story spread far and wide, inspiring others to look beyond the surface and cherish the goodness within. And as the sun set over the valley, casting a golden glow on the land, Amina knew that she had found her true home, surrounded by friends who valued her for who she truly was. The harmony in Kusini was soon interrupted by an unforeseen event. One morning, a caravan of traders arrived, bringing with them not only goods but also tales from distant lands. Among these traders was a man named Kato, whose reputation as a cunning merchant preceded him. Kato's eyes were sharp, and his mind was always scheming for opportunities. Kato's arrival caused a stir in the village. He was a tall, imposing figure with a commanding presence. His sharp gaze quickly fell upon Amina, whose beauty and grace were impossible to ignore. Unlike the men of Ndlovu or Kusini, Kato saw in Amina not just a woman but a chance to further his ambitions. In the days that followed, Kato made his intentions clear. He approached Amina with gifts and flattering words, attempting to win her favor. Amina, however, was cautious. She had learned from her experiences and sensed something unsettling about Kato's persistent attention. One evening, as the village gathered around the fire for their nightly storytelling, Kato decided to make his move. He stood up, his voice booming over the murmurs of the villagers. "People of Kusini, I have come to your village not just to trade, but to find a partner who can share in my success. I wish to ask for Amina's hand in marriage." A hush fell over the crowd. All eyes turned to Amina, who stood rooted to the spot. The warmth of the fire did little to chase away the chill she felt at Kato's bold declaration. Before she could respond, Juma stepped forward, his face resolute. "Kato, Amina is not a prize to be won. She is a valued member of our community, and her decision should be respected," Juma said firmly. Kato's eyes narrowed, a flicker of anger crossing his face. "I mean no disrespect, Juma. I merely offer Amina an opportunity to join me and see the world beyond Kusini." Amina, finding her voice, stepped between the two men. "Kato, I appreciate your offer, but my place is here in Kusini. I have found a home and a family here. I will not leave." Kato's expression hardened, but he masked it with a smile. "Very well, Amina. I respect your choice, but know that my offer stands should you ever change your mind." Days turned into weeks, and Kato remained in the village, his presence a constant reminder of his offer. He continued to weave his influence, trying to gain the trust of the villagers. But Amina, supported by Juma and the wisdom of Mama Tumelo, stood firm in her decision. One afternoon, while Amina was in the market, she noticed a young boy struggling to carry a heavy basket of goods. She hurried over to help him, lifting the basket with ease. The boy, who introduced himself as Tano, was grateful and quickly formed a bond with Amina. He began to follow her around, his admiration for her evident in his wide eyes and constant questions. Tano, it turned out, was the son of one of the traders in Kato's caravan. He often spoke of the places they had visited, filling Amina's mind with images of distant lands. Despite her contentment in Kusini, Amina couldn't help but feel a twinge of curiosity about the world beyond the village. One night, Tano confided in Amina about his father. "My father is a good man, but he is under Kato's influence. Kato is not what he seems. He seeks power and wealth above all else." Amina listened carefully, her suspicions about Kato growing stronger. She decided to share her concerns with Juma and Mama Tumelo. They agreed that Kato's prolonged stay in Kusini was troubling and needed to be addressed. The next day, Juma called for a gathering of the village elders. They met under the shade of a large baobab tree, its ancient branches providing a sense of protection and wisdom. Amina, Juma, and Mama Tumelo presented their concerns about Kato's intentions. "We must be cautious," Juma said, his voice calm but firm. "Kato's presence has disrupted our peace. We need to find a way to encourage him to leave without causing further conflict." The elders nodded in agreement, their faces etched with concern. They decided to confront Kato, hoping that a united front would persuade him to depart. When they approached Kato later that day, he was at the river, overseeing his goods. The elders, led by Juma, spoke with authority and respect. "Kato, we have welcomed you into our village, but your stay has extended beyond what is customary for a trader. We ask that you conclude your business and leave Kusini." Kato's face remained impassive, but his eyes flickered with annoyance. "I understand your concerns, but my business here is not yet finished." Mama Tumelo stepped forward, her voice gentle but firm. "Kato, Kusini is a place of peace and harmony. We cannot allow anything to disturb that. We ask that you honor our request and leave." For a moment, Kato said nothing, his gaze sweeping over the gathered villagers. Then with a sigh, he nodded. "Very well. I will gather my caravan and leave by sunrise." The village breathed a collective sigh of relief. Cato's departure was swift, but his influence lingered in the minds of the villagers. Amina, though relieved, knew that this was not the end. Cato's words about seeing the world had planted a seed of curiosity in her heart, and she couldn't shake the feeling that her path might still lead her beyond Kusini. As the sun set on Cato's final day in the village, Amina sat by the river, reflecting on the events that had transpired. Juma joined her, his presence a comforting reminder of the strength and support she had found in Kusini. "Amina," Juma said softly, "whatever your future holds, know that you will always have a place here, among those who care for you deeply." Amina nodded, a sense of peace settling over her. For now, she was content to stay in Kusini, surrounded by the love and warmth of her new family. But she also knew that the world was vast and full of possibilities, waiting for her to explore when the time was right. Life in Kusini returned to its tranquil rhythm after Cato's departure. The villagers resumed their daily routines, and the market buzzed with activity once more. Amina found solace in her work and her friendships, yet a small part of her remained restless, curious about the world beyond the valley. One morning, while fetching water from the river, Amina noticed a stranger approaching. He was an older man with a long, flowing robe and a staff adorned with intricate carvings. His presence commanded respect, and as he drew closer, Amina could see the wisdom in his eyes. "Greetings," the man said, his voice gentle yet firm. "I am Mzee Bakari, a wanderer and storyteller. I have heard tales of a village called Kusini and the remarkable woman who resides here. Might you be Amina?" Amina nodded, intrigued by the newcomer's words. "Yes, I am Amina. What brings you to our village, Mzee Bakari?" The old man smiled. "I seek knowledge and wisdom, and I have traveled far to share stories and learn from others. I was told that Kusini is a place of great harmony and that you are a woman of exceptional grace and strength." Amina blushed slightly, humbled by the stranger's praise. "Kusini is indeed a special place. Please come and meet our elders. They will welcome you." Mzee Bakari was introduced to the village elders, who received him warmly. He settled in quickly, becoming a regular presence at the evening gatherings by the fire. His stories captivated the villagers, and his wisdom enriched their lives. One evening, as the fire crackled and the stars twinkled above, Mzee Bakari shared a tale that resonated deeply with Amina. He spoke of a distant land where a hidden valley lay, said to be filled with untold treasures and ancient knowledge. The valley was protected by powerful guardians, and only those with pure hearts and unwavering courage could find it. Amina listened intently, her heart stirring with a longing she could not ignore. She approached Mzee Bakari after the storytelling session, her curiosity burning brightly. "Mzee Bakari, do you believe the hidden valley truly exists?" The old man studied her for a moment before replying. "Many believe it to be a myth, but I have met those who claim to have seen it. The path to the valley is treacherous and requires great perseverance, but for those who seek knowledge and truth, it is a worthy pursuit." Amina felt a spark of determination ignite within her. She knew that she had to seek out this hidden valley, not just for the treasures or knowledge it might hold, but to fulfill the restless yearning in her soul. She confided in Juma and Mama Tumelo, who, though concerned, understood her need to embark on this quest. Juma offered to accompany her, his loyalty unwavering. "We will face whatever challenges lie ahead together, Amina. You have always been there for us. Now, let us support you in your journey." With preparations made, Amina and Juma set out at dawn, their hearts filled with hope and determination. They traveled through dense forests and across rocky plains, following the directions Mzee Bakari had given them. The journey was arduous, testing their strength and resolve at every turn. One day, as they traversed a narrow mountain pass, they encountered a fierce storm. The winds howled and rain lashed at them, making it nearly impossible to see the path ahead. They sought shelter in a cave, huddling together for warmth and safety. In the dim light of the cave, Amina and Juma shared stories and dreams, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. They spoke of their hopes for the future and the lessons they had learned along the way. Despite the hardships, they found comfort in each other's presence and the shared goal that lay ahead. When the storm finally subsided, they resumed their journey, their spirits undeterred. They encountered many challenges, treacherous rivers, steep cliffs and dense jungles, but their determination never wavered. Each obstacle they overcame brought them closer together, their friendship deepening into something more profound. One evening, as they camped by a tranquil lake, Amina gazed at the stars, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. Juma sat beside her, his eyes reflecting the same wonder. Amina, no matter what we find at the end of this journey, I am grateful to be by your side. You have taught me the true meaning of courage and kindness. Amina smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. And you have shown me the power of loyalty and friendship, Juma. Together, we can face anything. Their journey continued, guided by the wisdom of Mzee Bakari's stories and the strength of their bond. As they drew closer to their destination, they felt a growing sense of anticipation and excitement. The challenges they faced only fueled their determination, and they knew that the hidden valley was within their reach. Finally, after many days of travel, they stood before a vast, lush valley shrouded in mist. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the sounds of exotic birds. Amina and Juma exchanged a glance, their hearts pounding with excitement. They had found the hidden valley, and with it, the promise of untold treasures and ancient knowledge. But more importantly, they had discovered the true strength within themselves and the unbreakable bond that would guide them through whatever lay ahead. As Amina and Juma stepped into the hidden valley, a sense of wonder enveloped them. The valley was unlike anything they had ever seen. Lush greenery spread out before them, dotted with vibrant flowers of every color imaginable. Exotic birds with iridescent feathers flew overhead, their calls echoing through the air. The valley seemed alive with magic, and the air buzzed with an energy that made every step feel significant. They walked along a winding path, guided by the sound of a distant waterfall. The path led them to a clearing where a grand tree stood, its branches stretching high into the sky. Beneath the tree, an elderly man sat cross-legged, his eyes closed in meditation. He radiated a sense of calm and wisdom that immediately put Amina and Juma at ease. The man opened his eyes and smiled warmly at them. "Welcome, travelers. I am Sage Kibwe, guardian of this valley. You have come far to reach this place. What is it that you seek?" Amina stepped forward, her voice steady. "We seek knowledge and understanding. We have heard of the treasures hidden in this valley and wish to learn from them." Sage Kibwe nodded thoughtfully. "Knowledge is indeed a treasure, but it is not easily earned. The valley will test your hearts and spirits. Only those who are pure of heart and strong in will can truly uncover its secrets." Amina and Juma exchanged a determined glance, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Sage Kibwe rose to his feet and led them deeper into the valley, through a grove of ancient trees and past bubbling springs. The valley seemed to shift and change around them, as if responding to their presence. They arrived at a serene pool surrounded by smooth stones. Sage Kibwe gestured for them to sit and join him by the water's edge. "This pool holds the reflections of your true selves," he explained. "Look into the water and see what it reveals." Amina and Juma peered into the pool. The water shimmered, and their reflections began to shift and change. Amina saw herself as a young girl, filled with dreams and hopes, but also the pain of her past. She saw her journey through Ndlovu, the hardships she had faced, and the strength she had gained. Juma saw himself as a boy, full of curiosity and bravery, and the man he had become through his loyalty and wisdom. As they gazed into the pool, they saw not just their pasts, but their potential futures. They saw the choices they could make and the paths they could follow. The water showed them the power of their unity and the impact they could have on the world together. Sage Kibwe's voice broke the silence. "The first step to gaining knowledge is understanding oneself. You have seen your true selves in the water. Now, you must face the challenges that lie ahead." He led them to a series of trials designed to test their character and resolve. The first trial took them to a dense forest where they had to navigate through thick underbrush and thorny vines. It tested their patience and perseverance. Amina and Juma worked together, using their strengths to overcome the obstacles. They encouraged each other, their bond growing stronger with each step. The second trial led them to a rocky mountainside, where they had to climb steep cliffs and navigate narrow ledges. This trial tested their courage and trust in each other. They faced their fears, relying on their unwavering faith in one another to reach the summit. At the peak, they found a breathtaking view of the valley below. Sage Kibwe met them there, his eyes filled with approval. "You have shown great patience, perseverance, courage, and trust. The final trial awaits you." He guided them to a secluded grove where a massive stone door stood, covered in ancient carvings. Behind this door lies the heart of the valley, where the greatest treasures are kept. To open it, you must solve the riddle inscribed on the stone. Amina and Juma approached the door, reading the inscription aloud. I am not alive, yet I grow. I do not have eyes, yet I see. I am not a mouth, yet I roar. I do not have wings, yet I soar. They pondered the riddle, thinking deeply about the words. After a moment, Amina's face lit up with realization. The answer is fire, she said confidently. It grows, sees, roars, and soars. As soon as she spoke the words, the stone door began to rumble and slowly opened. They stepped through the doorway and found themselves in a magnificent chamber filled with treasures beyond their wildest dreams. Ancient scrolls, glittering jewels, and artifacts of immense power surrounded them. Sage Kibwe joined them, his expression serene. These treasures are the culmination of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You have proven yourselves worthy to possess them. Use them wisely, for with great knowledge comes great responsibility. Amina and Juma looked around in awe, realizing that the true treasure lay not in the material wealth before them, but in the lessons they had learned and the strength they had gained. They had discovered the hidden valley, but more importantly, they had discovered the depths of their own hearts and spirits. Amina and Juma stood in the chamber, their hearts brimming with a sense of accomplishment. Sage Kibwe watched them with a gentle smile, his eyes twinkling with pride. Now that you have proven your worth, the knowledge and treasures of this valley are yours to explore and understand. They spent several days in the valley, guided by Sage Kibwe. Each artifact and scroll revealed ancient wisdom and secrets long forgotten by the outside world. They learned about the harmony between nature and humanity, the balance of forces that governed the world, and the deep interconnectedness of all living things. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, casting a golden glow over the valley, Amina and Juma sat with Sage Kibwe by a tranquil stream. The old sage shared stories of the valley's history, its guardians, and the many seekers who had come before them. This valley has always been a place of refuge and enlightenment, Sage Kibwe explained. But its true power lies in those who seek its knowledge with pure intentions. You two have shown that you are worthy stewards of its secrets. Amina felt a profound sense of gratitude for the wisdom and knowledge they had gained. She turned to Juma, her eyes shining with determination. We must take what we've learned and share it with our people. They deserve to know the truths we've discovered here. Juma nodded, his expression mirroring her resolve. Yes, we can bring hope and understanding to Kusini and beyond. Our journey has prepared us for this moment. With the blessings of Sage Kibwe, Amina and Juma prepared to leave the hidden valley. The sage presented them with gifts, a beautifully crafted staff for Juma, symbolizing strength and guidance, and an intricately woven amulet for Amina, representing wisdom and protection. As they made their way back to Kusini, they encountered various challenges that tested the lessons they had learned in the valley. Each obstacle reaffirmed their strength and unity. They navigated dense forests, crossed roaring rivers, and climbed steep hills, all the while drawing upon the wisdom and knowledge they had gained. When they finally reached Kusini, they were greeted with joy and relief. The villagers had been worried about their prolonged absence, and their return brought a sense of hope and excitement. Amina and Juma gathered the people of Kusini and shared the stories of their journey and the hidden valley. The village elders listened intently, their eyes wide with wonder. Mama Tumelo's face glowed with pride as Amina recounted the trials they had faced and the knowledge they had gained. Juma demonstrated the power of the staff, using it to heal a child who had been injured, showcasing the strength and protection it embodied. Amina spoke of the amulet and its connection to wisdom and understanding. She explained how the valley's teachings could help them live in harmony with nature and each other. The villagers were inspired, their spirits lifted by the hope and possibilities that Amina and Juma's experiences had brought. Under Amina and Juma's guidance, Kusini began to flourish in new ways. They implemented practices that promoted sustainability and respect for the environment. The villagers learned to live in harmony with nature, cultivating the land and resources with care. The wisdom of the hidden valley became the foundation of their community, fostering a sense of unity and purpose. Amina and Juma continued to teach and inspire, sharing their knowledge with neighboring villages and inviting others to learn from Kusini's example. Their journey had not only transformed their own lives, but had also brought lasting change to their community and beyond. Sage Kibwe's teachings became an integral part of their daily lives, and the Hidden Valley secrets were honored and cherished. Amina and Juma's bond grew stronger with each passing day, their partnership becoming a beacon of hope and strength for all who knew them. Through their unwavering determination and the wisdom they had gained, Amina and Juma had brought the spirit of the Hidden Valley into the heart of Kusini, creating a legacy that would endure for generations to come. Amina and Juma stood in the chamber, their hearts brimming with a sense of accomplishment. Sage Kibwe watched them with a gentle smile, his eyes twinkling with pride. Now that you have proven your worth, the knowledge and treasures of this valley are yours to explore and understand. They spent several days in the valley, guided by Sage Kibwe. Each artifact and scroll revealed ancient wisdom and secrets long forgotten by the outside world. They learned about the harmony between nature and humanity, the balance of forces that govern the world, and the deep interconnectedness of all living things. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, casting a golden glow over the valley, Amina and Juma sat with Sage Kibwe by a tranquil stream. The old sage shared stories of the valley's history, its guardians, and the many seekers who had come before them. This valley has always been a place of refuge and enlightenment, Sage Kibwe explained. But its true power lies in those who seek its knowledge with pure intentions. You two have shown that you are worthy stewards of its secrets. Amina felt a profound sense of gratitude for the wisdom and knowledge they had gained. She turned to Juma, her eyes shining with determination. We must take what we've learned and share it with our people. They deserve to know the truths we've discovered here. Juma nodded, his expression mirroring her resolve. Yes, we can bring hope and understanding to Kusini and beyond. Our journey has prepared us for this moment. With the blessings of Sage Kibwe, Amina and Juma prepared to leave the Hidden Valley. The sage presented them with gifts, a beautifully crafted staff for Juma, symbolizing strength and guidance, and an intricately woven amulet for Amina, representing wisdom and protection. As they made their way back to Kusini, they encountered various challenges that tested the lessons they had learned in the valley. Each obstacle reaffirmed their strength and unity. They navigated dense forests, crossed roaring rivers, and climbed steep hills, all the while drawing upon the wisdom and knowledge they had gained. When they finally reached Kusini, they were greeted with joy and relief. The villagers had been worried about their prolonged absence, and their return brought a sense of hope and excitement. Amina and Juma gathered the people of Kusini and shared the stories of their journey and the Hidden Valley. The village elders listened intently, their eyes wide with wonder. Mama Tumelo's face glowed with pride as Amina recounted the trials they had faced and the knowledge they had gained. Juma demonstrated the power of the staff, using it to heal a child who had been injured, showcasing the strength and protection it embodied. Amina spoke of the amulet and its connection to wisdom and understanding. She explained how the valley's teachings could help them live in harmony with nature and each other. The villagers were inspired, their spirits lifted by the hope and possibilities that Amina and Juma's experiences had brought. Under Amina and Juma's guidance, Kusini began to flourish in new ways. They implemented practices that promoted sustainability and respect for the environment. The villagers learned to live in harmony with nature, cultivating the land and resources with care. The wisdom of the Hidden Valley became the foundation of their community, fostering a sense of unity and purpose. Amina and Juma continued to teach and inspire, sharing their knowledge with neighboring villages and inviting others to learn from Kusini's example. Their journey had not only transformed their own lives, but had also brought lasting change to their community and beyond. Sage Kibwe's teachings became an integral part of their daily lives, and the Hidden Valley's secrets were honored and cherished. Amina and Juma's bond grew stronger with each passing day, their partnership becoming a beacon of hope and strength for all who knew them. Through their unwavering determination and the wisdom they had gained, Amina and Juma had brought the spirit of the Hidden Valley into the heart of Kusini, creating a legacy that would endure for generations to come. In the heart of Kusini, life thrived with a renewed sense of purpose. The teachings from the Hidden Valley had transformed the village into a haven of wisdom and harmony. Under Amina and Juma's guidance, the community flourished, its people working together with a unity that had never been seen before. One morning, while Amina was tending to the communal garden, she noticed a commotion near the village entrance. She hurried over to find a group of travelers who had arrived from a distant land. They were weary and their faces lined with fatigue, but their eyes shone with hope. Leading the group was a woman named Zahra, whose presence exuded strength and resilience. She explained that they had heard of Kusini's newfound prosperity and had come seeking refuge and knowledge. Their own village had been ravaged by drought and strife, and they were in desperate need of guidance. Amina welcomed Zahra and her people with open arms. She introduced them to Juma and the village elders, and together they devised a plan to help the newcomers integrate into Kusini. The villagers offered food, shelter, and friendship, and soon the new arrivals began to feel at home. Zahra, who had a background in herbal medicine, quickly became an invaluable asset to Kusini. She shared her knowledge of healing plants and traditional remedies, complementing the wisdom Amina and Juma had brought from the hidden valley. Together, they established a healing center where the sick and injured could receive care. One evening, as the village gathered around the fire for storytelling, Zahra shared her story. She spoke of her village's struggles and the hardships they had endured. Her tale resonated deeply with the people of Kusini, reminding them of their own trials and the strength they had found in unity. Inspired by Zahra's resilience, Amina and Juma decided to embark on a new endeavor. They began traveling to neighboring villages, sharing the teachings of the hidden valley and inviting others to visit Kusini. They spoke of harmony, sustainability, and the power of community, planting seeds of hope and wisdom wherever they went. Their efforts bore fruit as more villages adopted the practices and principles that had transformed Kusini. The region began to thrive, with communities working together to support one another. A network of knowledge and mutual aid emerged, with Kusini at its heart. As the seasons changed, so did the fortunes of the people. The once parched lands began to bloom, and the bonds between villages grew stronger. Festivals and gatherings became common, celebrating the unity and shared prosperity that had been achieved. One such festival was held in Kusini, drawing visitors from far and wide. The air was filled with laughter and music, and the scent of delicious food wafted through the village. Amina and Juma stood at the center of it all, their hearts swelling with pride and gratitude. During the festival, Sage Kibwe arrived, his presence a welcome surprise. He had come to see the fruits of Amina and Juma's labor and to share in the joy of the community they had built. He brought with him a special gift, a scroll that contained ancient songs and stories from the hidden valley, a treasure that would further enrich Kusini's cultural heritage. That evening, under a sky full of stars, Amina, Juma, Sage Kibwe, and Zara sat together by the fire. They spoke of the journey they had undertaken, the challenges they had faced, and the wisdom they had gained. Their conversation was filled with laughter and reflection, a testament to the enduring bonds of friendship and shared purpose. As the fire crackled and the night grew deeper, Sage Kibwe told a story from the scroll he had brought. It was a tale of a mythical bird that soared through the skies, spreading hope and light wherever it went. The bird's journey mirrored the path Amina and Juma had taken, a journey of discovery, resilience, and the power of unity. The story resonated deeply with all who listened, a reminder of the incredible transformation that had taken place. Kusini had become a beacon of hope, a place where the wisdom of the past and the promise of the future intertwined. And so, the legacy of Kusini continued to grow, rooted in the timeless principles of wisdom, unity, and the unyielding spirit of its people. As the festival in Kusini drew to a close, the village basked in a sense of fulfillment and joy. The lessons of the hidden valley had woven themselves into the fabric of the community, creating a tapestry of harmony and growth. Amina and Juma, standing at the heart of this transformation, felt a deep sense of purpose. One quiet evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the land, Amina and Juma walked along the riverbank. They reflected on all they had achieved, the challenges they had faced, and the friendships they had forged. The air was filled with the sounds of nature, a symphony that underscored the peace they had brought to their world. In the days that followed, the village elders convened a special council. It was time to honor Amina and Juma for their unwavering dedication and the profound impact they had made. The council decided to bestow upon them the titles of Guardians of Kusini, a recognition of their leadership and the wisdom they had shared. The ceremony was held under the ancient baobab tree, its branches stretching wide like protective arms. Villagers gathered, their faces glowing with admiration and gratitude. Mama Tumalo, with tears in her eyes, presented Amina with a beautifully woven cloak, symbolizing the wisdom she had brought to their lives. Juma was given a carved staff, representing his strength and guidance. As they accepted these honors, Amina and Juma felt a surge of emotion. They had not sought recognition, but the love and respect of their people filled their hearts with a deep sense of belonging. They looked out at the faces of those they had helped, knowing that the true reward was in the unity and prosperity they had fostered. Sage Kibwe, who had watched their journey with pride, stepped forward to speak. Amina and Juma, you have shown that true strength lies not in power, but in wisdom and compassion. You have brought light to this valley, and your legacy will endure for generations. With these words, the villagers erupted into applause, their cheers echoing through the valley. The celebration that followed was a testament to the spirit of Kusini, a community bound by shared values and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. In the months that followed, Amina and Juma continued to lead with humility and grace. They traveled to distant villages, spreading the teachings of the Hidden Valley and inspiring others to embrace the principles of harmony and unity. Each place they visited became a part of a growing network of enlightened communities, united by a common vision of a better world. As they looked back on their journey, Amina and Juma knew that their work was far from over. The world was vast, and there were many more lives to touch, many more hearts to inspire. They embraced their roles as guardians of Kusini, committed to carrying forward the torch of wisdom and compassion. One day, as they stood at the edge of the valley, watching the sun rise over the horizon, Amina turned to Juma with a smile. Our journey has brought us here, but there is so much more to discover. Together, we can continue to spread the light of the Hidden Valley. Juma nodded, his eyes reflecting the same determination. Wherever we go, we will carry the spirit of Kusini with us. Our journey is just beginning. And so, hand in hand, Amina and Juma set forth once more, their hearts filled with hope and their spirits guided by the wisdom they had gained. The Hidden Valley had given them a gift beyond measure, and they were determined to share it with the world. In the years to come, the story of Amina and Juma became legend, a tale told around firesides and in village squares across the land. Their legacy lived on, a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who heard their story. The Hidden Valley, nestled in the heart of the land, remained a place of refuge and enlightenment. Its secrets, passed down through generations, continued to guide those who sought its wisdom. And in Kusini, the spirit of unity and harmony thrived, a testament to the enduring power of wisdom, compassion, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship.